Wiggle, wiggle.
Like.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The T26E5 just hit the store again you could get it for 15 bucks, 20 for the camo and everything else, but really good deal for this tank. I personally like it. This is the prime position that you want to be putting this tank in. It has a great turret armor profile from the front. You want to keep your hull protected. It's got good gun depression, good DPM, but overall like a very capable and well-rounded tank. Here you'll see how I purposely try to put myself I just put a couple quick replays together, just 2 games back to back, just to give you guys some real feedback. You guys once again can see the timestamps. Wasn't sure how these were going to turn out, but I'm purposely here going up and putting myself in a position where I'm only exposing the front of my turret. The hull armor is a little bit weaker and you can get pinned through that front, but this is a tank that you can get fairly aggressive with in terms of like peeking over, cresting those hills, using your gun depression and only using your turret. It is a great tank for that, and it's got decent maneuverability. Its accuracy, honestly, even though in these replays you can kind of see it here in just these next couple shots. I mean, I'm not sure exactly where that shot went, but then I try going over here to this T34. That must have just maybe went right in between his turret and his tank hull. But anyway, it honestly, like, just well-rounded, very capable tank. Good DPM. Penetration is okay. I don't feel like it's too bad. I do carry APCR or premium ammo just in case. That is helpful with this. Just with like a lot of heavies, the way and how you're typically positioning yourself is a lot of the time to be coming up against other heavy tanks, and it's just good to have that equipped. Here I'm trying to do a little bit of side scraping here. And you can kind of see I end up blocking one, but I do get pinned. I think I did have maybe a little bit of my hull exposed. When you have a tank with a forward facing turret, like more so like a turret that's placed more in the front rather than in the rear, like some tanks, you do put a little bit more of your hull at risk, and it's a little bit more easy to expose. But I'm just really trying to get in, just help my teammate as much as I can to help protect him. But honestly, like I said, it's a very capable tank. And if you can continually keep putting yourself in these positions where your enemies really only see the front of your turret, you're using your gun depression, this tank can really be a beast to deal with. But once you start exposing that hull, it starts to become a little bit more of a weak spot and you can get pinned. So I'm really trying to play the heavy role. I do have another replay right after this. This is a tank, I mean, honestly, it originally first came out in crates and there was no guaranteed way to get it. I think it was like a 5% drop. And when that happened, I was like, why on earth is Wargaming doing that? And it's funny to see how much the price has changed from then, which I think was just 9 months ago, when people could have been spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars and like not even got the tank based on their luck, compared to now where you can get the tank for like 15 bucks. It's just crazy. So it really also goes to show you that by your patience and your waiting really pays off. which I unfortunately have not been doing a lot of. I typically am the type that just gets the tank when it comes out. So don't do as I do in regards to that. So here I am. This is another prime example of positioning yourself in that prime position. So if you get this tank, once again, protecting my hull, only exposing my turret, so that's what the enemy sees. And I'm just peeking over and just looking for those weak spots. And I am coming up across some tanks that are pretty well armored, and you can see how the penetration works with even coming across some of these tanks. The Chrysler has a very well armored turret, and I think he might have, maybe I exposed my hull just a little bit too much there. But really, I mean, you can really keep an enemy pinned down by just being in a position like this. So if you get this tank, once again, this is the prime position you want to be in with this. You are playing the role of a heavy tank. However, I feel like this tank can also be really good if you were to move out on flanks with like medium. So it's a very versatile and flexible tank. Because if you were to go hills, you could put yourself in that prime position. As you could tell, even when I was side scraping from the video, if you do go an area like town, this tank is honestly more of a tank that I just feel like works better in more hilly terrain just because of its good gun depression. But all in all, like, I think it's a good tank. I do play with it every once in a while. I think 15-20 bucks is a good deal. I personally don't like the legendary camo that it comes with, but I just got it without that legendary camo, and I just prefer just the standard camos in the game over the legendary one. That's just my opinion. But honestly, like, hopefully this review helps. I want to give you guys my honest, fair input and thoughts. This is the Muffin here. You guys stay cool and keep tanking.